Hello and welcome to Jurassic TBR round something. 8? I think this is round 8. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Teresa and like I said, this is Jurassic TBR. So I went ahead and fixed my board. So if you watched last month's video, if not, I will link it, go check that out. I decided to add a couple more footprints to the board. I didn't change the number of footprints, I changed the colors because each color corresponds to a different prompt. In March, I feel like I added too many of the red and green footprints, and so I took a few away. So now it's pretty even on the board. I have exactly 3 black, 3 white, and 3 yellow. Everything else is red and green. And yes, this here, this one, and this one, they are not green. My printer ran out of ink. So they're like this weird color. So basically I just added 3 red and 3 green. So now I don't even know how many of those we have, but I have equal chances of hitting thriller, which is black, TBR, which is white, and then yellow, which is fantasy. Red is Jurassic TBR and green is Mystery TBR. So that's the board, that's the game. If you guys are not sure about this, if this is the first time, I'll link my playlist, all of that stuff, so you guys can totally check it out and see what you think. Before I get into the gameplay, let's very quickly go over last month's TBR and see how I did. All right, for March's Jurassic TBR, my first prompt was a thriller, and for that I chose to read Northern Spy, and I did read this. Then I had a Jurassic TBR card, Rexy, which is a book set in North America. I picked Touching Spirit Bear, and I did read this. This is set in Alaska. Then I had a Mr. DNA, Mr. TBR card, and I had Next to at Library, and I am currently reading I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. So I should be able to finish that by the end of the month. It is the 25th today, so I still have a few days left to finish my TBR. After that, I had to read Compsognathus, a book under 300 pages. And I chose The Thing About December by Donald Ryan. Have not read this one yet, but like I said, I still have a few days left, so maybe. Oh, also Northern Spy was by Flynn Berry, and Touching Spirit Bear is by Ben Mikkelsen. I landed on own TBR, and I do a random number generator for my own TBR, and it picked for me Half Sick of Shadows by Lauren Sebastian, and I did read this one. Next one I drew was T-Rex, reading book with 500 plus pages, and I am currently in the middle of Obsidio by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, and I will get this done by the end of the month. Then I have Blue, Read a Domestic Thriller. This is Jurassic TBR card, and I chose Lying in Wait by Liz Nugent. And this unfortunately was a DNF, but I still count that towards my game because at least I tried it. After that, I drew Mosasaurus, which is to read a book about mythology, and because it has slash marks down here on the corner, that means I have to choose 2 books for this prompt. Book I read for this, but that was The King with Horse's Ears by Bat something. Did read that, and the second book I chose to read for this prompt is Brigid by Courtney Weber. This is History, Mystery, and Magic of the Celtic Goddess. I have not read this one yet, and quite honestly, I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to it before the end of the month. Then I landed on fantasy, and I chose Never Never by Serena Valentino, and I did read this. And the very last prompt that I landed on was Jurassic TBR card again, and it chose for me Can Wheatley read a intimidating book, and I read The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I just finished it last night. Okay, so that means I've read almost all of my books, and I know I'll have at least one more done by the end of the month. So for my game, you guys, I don't take punishments. It's more of just a competition with myself to see if I can beat it or not. So that means I know for sure 3 of these cards are going into the discard pile. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about April. April's gonna be fun, you guys. At least I'm really hoping April's going to be fun because I have a lot going on in April. So I am obviously doing my TBR, which is this here. I'm participating in in for readathons. I will just go ahead and put the announcement videos down below in the description for all of the readathons if the announcement videos have been released. I'm going to be taking part in Ramathon, and that is hosted by Cassidy with Covers with Cassidy. I'm on team Spooky, which is horror, thriller, mystery. Then I have Aurelium Magical Readathon that's hosted by G at Book Roast. And then I have the, I believe it's being called the Spring into Christian Fiction Readathon. I think that's what it's being called, but it's the Christian Readathon hosted by Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails. And then the other one I'm taking part in is the Disability Readathon. I'm really excited for this because this is all about reading books by disabled authors. I myself, those of you who are newer to my channel may not know this, I myself am disabled. I have what is called an invisible disability, invisible illness. So I am disabled due to illness, and it's called invisible because by looking at me you'd never know that I'm sick. So I just love this. It's so great. And I also have a secret project that I'm working on in May, but I need to start reading books in the end of April to kind of make sure that I'm ready for my project to come to fruition in May. And I'm so excited about this. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. So like, yay! I have so many things to do though. It's gonna be a very busy month. With all of that fancy formal stuff out of the way, let's go play the game and see what books that my Jurassic TBR is choosing for me this month. And then I will have separate videos for all my other TBRs. We're gonna go for it, and hopefully books from here I can fit into the readathons. All right, let's go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll to see which one is higher to figure out what we're using this month. Okay, I got a 2, and I got an 8, which means I'm using my D10. Which means April could possibly be a short TBR. Let's go ahead and take our Dr. Ellie Sattler character here and roll for our first roll of Jurassic TBR. And I get an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is Black Footprint, which means thriller. This is really funny. This happened to me in March as well. My first roll landed me on a Black Footprint, which is a thriller. So I'm going to be reading Gone to Ground by Brandy Lynn Collins. This is a Christian thriller that takes place in a small little town. I believe it's in Mississippi, and you got like small town southern vibes, which I'm really excited for. It's like everybody knows everybody knows everybody's business, and this town is named after this flower, and I don't remember the name of the flower, but it's named after this flower, and they're super proud of it, and like it's a beautiful flower, but the flower is poisonous. And so over the past few years, I believe it said like 5 women have been murdered in the town, and so they kind of know that like there's a serial killer in their town, and a couple women have to come together and they try to figure out who it is, or like each woman thinks they know who it is, and they have to like wrestle with the fact of whether or not they are willing to give up a loved one to be like, yeah, I think my loved one did it, basically. And so it's like just trying to find out who the killer is, and it sounds really good. And this author, actually this is great because the author herself she has chronic Lyme disease, which is what I have, which is the illness that makes me disabled. So that will count for reading a disabled author. And this book has a flower on the cover, which I know is a prompt in the Christian Readathon. So I'm ticking off some stuff already. Really exciting. First roll, we're already doing good. Okay, let's go ahead and go to roll number 2. Roll number 2. Roll number 2 is a 9. We very well could have a short month this month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jurassic TBR card. Go ahead and see. Parasolopis. Read an audiobook. Roll number 2 landed me on Jurassic TBR. And I drew Parasolopis. Read an audiobook. So the book I chose to read for this is the group book for Christian fiction readathon situation that's going on, and I'm choosing to read Wistress by Nadine. Is it Nadine? Yeah, Nadine Barnes. I think that's how you pronounce her name. This was gifted to me by the beautiful Chrissy from Chrissy's Purple Library. I'll link her below. You guys go check her out. She has like the best editing. Her videos are so funny. She always makes me laugh, and she has really good taste in books. So anyways, this is the group book. I'm really excited. I've been wanting to read this since I got it, and it's beautiful. It matches my hair. It's all sorts of lovely. This is a YA fantasy about a woman, not sure. Myrtle was born with the ability to turn her tears into wishes, but when a granted wish goes wrong, she is cursed. The next tear she sheds will kill her. And then she has to go on a quest with the kings. This guy, I guess he captured the old king, and now the new king has a job for him. Find the Wistress and deliver her to Schloss? So it's like an adventure, and he has to find her, but she is like, doesn't want anyone to know that she has that curse. The next curse that she makes will be her last, or not curse, wish that she grants will be her last. So I've heard amazing things about this book, and I'm really excited to read it. And I do have it on audio, so I will be listening to it on audio as I'm reading along. So it works for my audiobook prompt. I'm really excited. This is gonna be, I'm so excited. This is gonna be a really good month. Okay, I'm gonna scoot the board down a little bit more. Rule number 3. Is it 2? 1, 2. Mr. TBR card. We have, oh fun, sister pick. Okay, next prompt I chose, or that was chosen for me, was a Mr. TBR card. I'm so excited about this one, you guys, because it's sister pick. I had this one before, like when I first started playing my game, and never finished the book that she picked for me. Which is why it's back in here. But this time she actually happened to be here, so I was able to film her picking the book for me. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that clip here. Okay. Help me? Come on, Emily. To pick my books. So the 3 white shelves are all my unread books. Black shelves are read books.
Oh, wow, okay.
So anything from the white shelves. Very bottom row is nonfiction and arcs. Everything else is kind of categorized, but
Lost Apothecary. I feel like I know that one. Oh, it smells good. There it is. I found the one I want you to read, so I can talk about it.
I figured you'd pick that one.
Rachel, what you think? What you think? Is this a good one for Mama to read? Say yes. Is that yes? Yay! Get excited! Yeah, I think this one.
Butcher and the Wren. She chose The Butcher and the Wren by Elena Umquart. So Elena is a co-host of my favorite true crime podcast, which is Morbid. And this is her book that she wrote. And Emily, my sister, literally just read this. And so she saw it on my shelves and she's like, you have to read this because we need to talk about it. So I'm excited. She said it was really good. So hopefully she's not wrong. No, I have actually heard really good things about this. This is a thriller. It's really short too. Like it's under 300 pages. So it should be a pretty quick read. This is about a serial killer and a forensic pathologist who is trying to hunt him and find him, but I believe that he ends up hunting her as well. So it's like a cat and mouse chase, with a brutal murderer getting more brazen by the day. Yeah, I've just heard nothing but amazing things about this. I love Elena. She's great. She's an autopsy technician in real life, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of really cool medical things in here, and they should be realistic and accurate because that's what she does for a living. And she's very science-minded and very like analytical. So I'm really excited to read this book. So thanks Emily for picking me this. I was going to read it anyways very soon, and now I have an excuse to. Rule number 4. That is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And get a Jurassic TBR card once again. And we have Bronchiosaurus, read a book with an animal companion. Hey guys, sorry if the angle and everything pretty much changed. I'm changing the book I'm reading for Animal Companion, so I'm going to tell you guys about it here, and then we'll go back to, you know, regular scheduled programming. The book I'm going to be reading is A Song for a Whale by Lynn Kelly, and this is the story of a deaf girl's connection to a whale whose song cannot be heard by his species and the journey she takes to help him. I've heard really amazing things about this. I do think it's based on a true story. I could be wrong there, but I think I heard that. Anyways, it's just about this girl. She's the only deaf person at her school. She's 12 years old, and because she's deaf, a lot of the other people around her don't treat her like she's very smart, even though she's like this tech whiz. And she learns about Blue 55, a real whale who's unable to speak to other whales. Iris understands how he must feel, and so she basically wants to create a song for him, but then it has to figure out how to get a song to him when he is 3,000 miles away. So it sounds like such a beautiful story. I love animal stories. You know, this isn't necessarily like Animal Companion, as they're not like going on an adventure together, but it's an animal in the book. She is trying to help this animal, and so I'm counting it for this prompt. Yeah, it sounds great, and it has a deaf main character, so it works for Disability Readathon. The author is a ASL, or American Sign Language interpreter, so she knows her stuff. I'm really excited to read it. Okay, let's go on to the rest of the game, next roll, all that stuff. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces to go, which means we could theoretically win on our next roll. So I have to roll an 8, or else I'm going back the number of spaces on this dice. And I get a 6. So that means I'm going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Jurassic TBR card. And that is Dr. Ellie Sattler, read a book about women in STEM. Okay dokie. So, not quite out yet, but I landed on a Jurassic TBR card once more. I swear this game, like this game's favorite thing is to give me these cards. Anyways, I got Dr. Ellie Sattler, which is to read a book about women in STEM. And I'm very excited about this one because I just found this book and it makes me so excited. Also, for those of you who don't know what STEM is, STEM stands for science, technology, something in math. Engineering. So science, technology, engineering, math. That is STEM. So any job that partakes in any of those categories counts for this, and it needs to be about a woman in that field. Since Dr. Ellie Sattler is a paleontologist, but specifically a botanist within paleontology. And so that is in STEM, and the book I'm choosing to read for this, which I'm so excited and happy that I found this, it's called Muzzled, and this is by Eileen Brandy, and this is a Kate Turner DVM mystery. That means a doctor of veterinary medicine. So this is a cozy mystery about a vet, and I'm so excited, you guys, because it's also written by a vet. A lot of you may not know this, but my entire life, I wanted to be a veterinarian. In fact, if I was healthy, if I never got sick, I most likely would be a veterinarian because that was where my life trajectory was going. Unfortunately, I became very ill and was never able to fulfill that dream. Maybe someday. I'm still holding that hope that maybe someday. But yeah, it's written by a veterinarian. Her husband's a veterinarian, and this is about a veterinarian, and this is about a woman veterinarian, so therefore it counts for women in STEM because veterinary medicine is a science, so it works for STEM. So, making rounds to homes one wet spring morning, veterinarian Dr. Kate Turner rescues a family's hamster from a vacuum cleaner, then visits an estate whose owners breed champion Cavalier King Charles Spaniels. I will put a picture up if you guys don't know what those are. Instead of sharing traditional tea with the couple, she confronts a bloody scene of bodies and 27 blue ribbon dogs running wild. Police initially suspect a murder-suicide, but when Dr. Kate proves the famous Best in Show champion is missing, a darker reality intrudes. So it's her trying to figure out who killed this family and why? Do they do it for the money? Because breeding dogs, especially champion show dogs, there's a lot of money in that. And so was they killed for the money? Were they killed for the dog? The dog was stolen. Like, does someone else want to take the dog and breed the dog and get their lines? And so there's all different things that it can be. It's, you know, a fairly short book. Yeah, I'm so excited for this. And like I said, it's a shorter book, so I have a lot going on this month. Hopefully this is one that I can just pump out really fast. I'm excited. Okay, next row. Okay, now we just roll forward until I win. And I have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, which is a Mr. TBR card. Favorite author. The next one I landed on was a Mr. TBR, and it's favorite author, and I'm so excited for this because I like instantly knew the book I was going to read. I have been wanting to reread my favorite book of all time for some time now, and this gave me the perfect excuse to do so. And that's Showdown by Ted Dekker, one of my all-time favorite authors ever. And Showdown is just, this book means so much to me. Like, it is, I can't even tell you guys. I need to reread it to make sure it's still my favorite, because I've read a lot of really, really good books since I've last read this one. But this book just spoke to me in ways that I needed in the moment that I read it. Almost every single one of his books that I've read have really helped me understand something in my faith or in the Bible better by reading his books. Like, the way that he is able to just write is so good. I don't even know. Okay, I'm just gonna read the blurb to you. Welcome to paradise, where your wildest dreams become your worst nightmare. Good and evil often collide in epic battles on unseen planes that seem far removed. But today, that same battle comes to town in one of the most visceral and personal stories yet penned by Ted Dekker. It all begins with the sound of lone footsteps clacking down the blacktop on a hot and lazy summer afternoon. The black-cloaked man arrives at the sleepy town of Paradise and manages to become the talk of the town within the hour. Bearing the power to grant any unfulfilled dream, he is irresistible. Seems like bliss, but is it? Or is all hell about to break loose in Paradise? Enter the ultimate showdown of good versus evil in this bold new thriller from the mind of Ted Dekker. And it's so, so good. There is just this beautiful scene in here. I mean, it's not beautiful in the sense of like, it's actually kind of a really tragic scene that's happening. But through that scene, I was able to understand something that I had always questioned in my faith and in the Bible. And the way that he was able to like put it into a fictional story and explain it, I was like, oh, that's what that means. I understand now. And it means so much to me. It's a smart book. It's like makes you think. It makes you creeped out. Like, it's creepy. There are giant worms and evil-ish children, and Marcevius Black, he's a creepy dude that likes to drink grape juice. It's just the best book. So anyways, all of that said, very long-winded explanation, but I'm going to be reading this. It's a reread for me, and I'm just super, super excited to get to it. Roll a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and that's it. We beat Jurassic TBR. So if I don't drop them all on my face, these are the books I am reading, plus the thriller and the young adult or middle grade book, which again is really short. Yeah, so this is my TBR. I'm so excited, you guys. I think this is a really good stack this month. It's gonna be really fun. I'm reading a lot of Christian fiction, which is gonna be a blast, but I also have a mystery, I have a thriller thrown in here. But this is the TBR for the month, and I could not be happier with how this board, like how this game went. Like, the game was so fast. There was hardly any prompts this month compared to like normal like 16 bucks or whatever. It was very, very nice to me this month. I'm so glad. April should be one heck of a good reading month, so I'm excited. Let me know, you guys, have you read any of the books that I am planning on reading? Are you interested in any of them? Did you love them? Did you hate them? Have you heard of them before? All of the things. Are you taking part in any of the readathons that I am talking about, that I am taking place in this month? I would love, love, love to know all of the things. So please let me know in the comments below. If you made it to the end of the video, let's go ahead and put a turtle emoji because I love turtles and it just makes me happy. So turtle emoji, and like, subscribe, do the things that you need to do for YouTube. It means the world, and I'm almost at 200 subscribers, you guys. I can't even, like, I'm so blown away by all of you and the fact that you guys want to watch my videos. It really means a lot to me. So yay! Books, good books. And let me know what you're reading in April and what you're doing in April, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye guys.